Hey everybody, I'm hoping we're back. I started to see our numbers go down to like 4 or 5, and I had a feeling something happened. The problem's going to be now I'm going to miss all of your comments. Yep. I'm very sorry for that. Maybe I can go back and read some of them. I'm hoping we're back on with you. I don't know why that happened because I'm actually into a hard wire instead of using the Wi-Fi here at the house. So I'm going to wait and give you a little time to come back on. Again, I do apologize for that. So I'll let you pop back on here. I just got a notification from my mother saying lost your signal. Yes, I saw that. Let's see if we can get you to come back. There we go. A couple of you are on. Not sure what happened. Maybe we need to talk to Charter. Um, Yes. So let's let you come back on. Let me tell me if you can hear me okay, see me okay. We've only got a couple of you on right now. So now it's going to be playing catch up. Okay, we've got 6 on now. Looks like we're back. I apologize. I have no idea what happened there. I'm not on Wi-Fi this morning. So Charter, you're failing me. Spectrum, we need to have a meeting. Let me try to see if I can go back to some of your comments because you had some good ones there. I don't want you to have to repeat the comments. Let's see, comments. Here's what you were saying. Let's see, good morning. Oh, it's going to come to me slowly, isn't it? Never mind. So glad you're back on. I am too. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Kathy. Sorry, don't know what gremlins are out there, but if it happens again, I guess we'll just wrap up the show for today because I don't want you to have to go back and forth. Leona, thank you. See you and hear you. The goal is, though, that I want to see if I can pull up and see what some of your comments were. Stand by here. Let me see if I can grab some of the comments because you had some good ones, or you can just ask me some of the questions. Again, I want to give you some good tips. I actually brought out, I didn't even realize that the connection had gone away. So that's what was unfortunate until I saw the numbers start to drop. Good morning, Barbara. Pamela, yes, back on. Good to see. We've got 12 of you. We were up to about 30. Let's see if we can get some of you back. It's 7:27. And if you are just tuning in, we're talking about nutrition. We're talking about healthier choices. And someone said, Monica, when are you going to wear a big hat on? Kyle, I did that already. I know you're big into big hats, but I've already done it. And I actually spoke in one the other day, so you can look for that picture. Someone asked me to talk about healthy yogurt options. Okay, this is my go-to. Doesn't necessarily have to be Fage. Hold on, got to go this way. And there you go. This is total 0% milk fat. Now, let me explain something. I have a lot of great dietitians. One of them that I send people to is a sports dietitian, sports nutritionist. And Tessa, come here, sweetie. And she stressed this in a Thursday night class that I've had. And she said, you don't necessarily have to pick 0%. Some fat is good for you, right? But you don't want the full fat. And here's the other thing. When you have full fat, it's going to make you feel so bloated. The other problem is some people, if you find that you have issues right after you eat yogurt, whether it's dairy or whether it's even, it's the regular yogurt that you're thinking of, or it's Greek yogurt, if the body feels bloated afterwards, keep an eye on those things because even the healthiest food, sometimes you have a sensitivity to it. So that's one of the things I wanted you to have a takeaway with today. If it's eggs, if it's even vegetables. I have a friend that I do some design work for, and he's like, Monica, you always have to remeasure me because my body is always changing. And he is a Ironman competitor, incredible triathlon competitor athlete. But he ended up finding out after exhausting himself and having panels done that it was actually some of the healthiest foods. He couldn't believe it. Healthiest foods that he never would have thought of that he had food sensitivity. Speaking of food sensitivity panels, do the same thing for your animals. When we're talking about nutrition, talking about your animals as well. We paid about, I don't know, $200, $300 to have a panel done on my dog, and I will not give her peanut butter. It is the worst thing for her. She itches so bad, so I get sunflower butter for her. So when mom makes her shake in the morning and I blend it up and I use almond milk, so I try to avoid dairy as much as possible. Now I'll do some cheese and like a charcuterie platter. I don't have a sensitivity to it, but I will tell you, dairy a lot of times is where people hold weight. Do you have milk, full milk in the morning, even 2% milk? Do you eat cheese? Do you eat full fat yogurt? Are you eating regular yogurt with a lot of sugars? Well, then start eliminating it or start pulling back on it, and you might watch yourself start to drop that weight that you've been hanging on to. Again, sorry for dropping off earlier. I'm not sure what happened with our signal. Wayne said, hello, make it a good day. Michelle said, Spectrum, get your act together. Leona, I'm not a salter except for eggs. Love a little salt on eggs. Okay, how about pepper? Can you do pepper? Can you do some oregano? Can you do maybe a little mix of something that is a salt-free option? Because even adding the extra sugar, here's the problem, Leona, you might not realize how much salt is in your foods already. I'm going to give you the wake-up call today. Do you eat bread in every one of your meals? You've already overdone your salt for the day. Did you know that? There's so much sodium in bread. You really have to watch. So think about the people who wake up in the morning, they have biscuits. They have bread with their eggs and bacon. Then they eat a sandwich for lunch. Then they have dinner and they want to have bread again. You are overdoing the salt. And you've already overdone your sodium intake for the day before you have ever even put salt on your food. So today's topic is mixed between two people that asked me to talk about oversalting, and then what alternatives could you do when you're wanting to look for seasonings, etc. And then also yogurts. What could you have instead? I like to do, as I said, now this is Faye. I happen to go to that. I'm not saying you have to, but look for Greek yogurt instead of your regular yogurt. If you're going to do regular yogurt, then at least try to look at the sugars. The amount, I think I saw one the other day had 32 to 36 grams of sugars, and I was like, wow. And most people are overdoing the portion. So you just load it all up into your dish. And then who knows what you're putting in, because you're probably not eating the yogurt by itself. So you have to think of portions. So I told you we'll talk about healthier options today. Portion control, your salting is a big aspect of it, and overdoing the dairy. Barbara says, I'm eating Activia. I think who did Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Didn't she do the Activia commercials? I think she was probably one of the best for them because everybody associated with her, and they started thinking, oh, Activia, oh, she looks good. Does she actually eat Activia? I don't know. Kathy Holden Reed, what did you say? I switched to almond milk a few months ago. Way to go. Now, you also might want to try to introduce yourself to other things. Almond milk, oat milk, there's hemp milk, there's cashew milk. There's even a blend of cashew and almond together that you can do. But the other thing you have to do here, let me grab that. This is a little show and tell today. Oh, where did it go? Uh-oh, where'd my almond milk go? Oh, here it is. So almond milk, here's another thing you need to understand. You have to look at this. Now, when I buy almond milk, unsweet. You've got to look for unsweet. This only has 30 calories. If you grab one, here's the thing. I appreciate that you're making the choice of the almond milk, but here's how you make the better choice. If you run up to like a Walgreens or something, it's rare that they carry the lower calorie one, the 30 calories. This is almond, and this has 0 sugars. No added sugars either. It only has 1 gram of protein, but I'm getting my protein source, and this is what I'm going to be making here in about 25 minutes. So I use this, and I also make sure that I only get 1 cup. Are you reading labels, right? So the 1 cup serving is what you need to look for. 8 servings per container. So I use 1 cup of this, and then I do the other cup, because I do a pretty big shake. I do the other in water and ice. So I have almond milk, water, ice. Then I put let's just go ahead and go there. If I want it to be a little thicker, I'll put in a little bit of the Greek yogurt, but I mean a very little bit. That's the other thing. Are you reading the labels properly? Do you see where it says the 90 calories? But the 90 calories is in 3/4 of a cup. So that's the problem. People will drink sodas and they say, well, it only has this many sugars. No, that particular bottle that's this big that you've gone and grabbed at the maybe the grocery store, or normally people run into like a Quick Trip or wherever they go for their gas, and it is 1.5 or sometimes 2 times the servings. That's where the weight comes on. And that's the biggest thing besides mindless eating that I have gone through with a lot of people, a lot of my clients. Again, when they get the aha moment, the weight starts coming off, they get the aha moment of getting their mind right, they get the aha moment of having the great intentions and the gratitude. They're starting to live their life that way. And then the weight starts coming off. And then they start getting to the goals of what they're wanting to look for, what they're wanting their life to be. So I will do almond milk and water and some ice. We'll do some yogurt. I do my vegan normally. I find that my body actually operates better when I use vegan protein powder as opposed to animal whey protein. But sometimes I'll mix it up. It really has more to do with taste for me. And I have found I used to really love Shakeology, but like I told you, it just got ridiculously expensive. And you heard Dr. Lehman the other day talking about the Beachbody programs and, just throwing things out there. And, you can't, unfortunately, when you're not working out with a personal trainer and you're just jumping on some video program, no one's watching your form. No one's helping you along with that or working through injuries, giving you modifications and alternatives of things you can do. And that's kind of the thing with Beachbody. But whatever, they put the programs out there, but then they also have all these nutrition products and they're just astronomically expensive. You don't need to be spending a bunch of money. That's the other thing. When it comes to eating healthy, you do not have to spend you don't have to buy everything organic. Especially, there's people that will buy organic bananas. I'm like, but I heard this from a nutritionist a long time ago. If you're buying food and it has an outer covering, like you think of, apples are different because you're actually eating the apple direct, but the bananas, the oranges, mangoes, things like that, you don't need to be buying the organic. You don't. That was their main thing. I might buy some of the spray just in case there's anything on the outside that actually, when you take the peeling off that goes into it. But think if you're going to spend the money on organic things, think of the things that are going directly into. Maybe you do it on your lettuce. Otherwise, wash that lettuce so really good, and then maybe do that spray. So there's a lot of tips that we can give you today. I'm just trying to get you healthier, but I'm also trying to save you some money. You don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money when you're trying to eat healthy either. So understand that. Let's go back and look at some comments. Okay, yes, glad we're back on as well. Good morning. Let's see. Nutrition. Are you struggling? Somebody said they made a choice to go into almond milk. And like I said, you just have to watch if you're buying the almond milk or the cashew milk that has the higher calories in it. Again, this only has 30 calories and only 3 grams of fat. You have to look at the whole thing. It has 0 cholesterol. It has 140 milligrams of sodium. So see, there's already sodium in all these different things that we're choosing. Let's look at the sodium in the yogurt. This has 65 milligrams if I'm just doing a serving. So today's a lot of show and tell, a lot of interaction, ask me some questions. But when you are salting your egg, and I said, okay, if I did this and then I decided to grab, I'm sure there's a little salt in the protein powder. And then if you have greens, maybe a little bit in that. So everything has the hidden sodium. So when you go back to a doctor and they say, oh, you've got high blood pressure, or you're sitting there thinking, I'm making all these choices, but you have to read. I really want you to read labels. I switched to almond milk a few months ago. Congratulations, Kathy. Barbara, okay, yes, Activia. Son says it isn't good, but I do it anyway. Wait, your son says what's not good? Almond milk? So is your son in the nutrition or the wellness field, or why is he saying that it's not good for you? Diabetics and keto diets recommend heavy whipping cream. Interesting. Do you know why? Why do they do that? I am not a dietitian, Leona. I'm not even I don't play one on TV either. I don't want to even begin to go. I will tell you that there's a lot of keto diets that put very heavy fats, and not sure why. I'm not a fan of diets, period. So you could tell me about paleo and keto and different things. Now, diabetics, that's a whole other story. I have not seen that. You'd have to tell me if somebody knows why do they recommend heavy whipping cream? I will tell you this. I did a story with a doctor many, many years ago, and he was telling me about children that are autistic and that they saw a big amount of this happening in Franklin County. And for a lot of research that's still being done, they would have their parents come in and they would buy the healthier foods from like a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. Now we have Fresh Thyme, etc. And your regular grocery stores have finally gotten their act together over the last 5 to 10 years, and they provide better, healthier options for you. I think the main thing is that there was a lot of processed food that parents were giving their autistic children. There were a lot of heavy salting, fats, again, fried food, breaded food. And when they started, and this is the aha moment this is one of the biggest takeaways I want you to have. If it's a child who has autism and suddenly they change the food that they're eating, and then they see that the autism, that they're able to control it better. Isn't that an aha of what we're doing to our bodies? I mean, hello, that was a huge wake-up call when I interviewed that doctor and the family, the parents and the child, and they said they saw And this is, people on the very high aspect of Asperger's, on the high aspect of the spectrum. They said they watched as they controlled what they were eating, that obviously the autism's not going to go away, but that it got a lot better. And it was all because they changed the food. Now think about that just on a regular basis. What you're giving your children. You're okay with what those little bodies, what you're giving them, just sweets galore, breaded this, fried that, heavy sauces, tons of candy. Why? I mean, again, wouldn't you do anything for your child to have the best world? You think about what's out there in the world and you try to control that, yet you're not controlling it right here in the refrigerator. Let's go over to the refrigerator. There's my refrigerator. And oh, isn't this cute? This sweet little thing was made by Sophie, her son, Elliot. See these? These are actually pictures of Tessa, Adelaide, and Opus. And this is what makes me laugh. Adelaide, if you can see it. Adelaide's right here. This is a little belly on Adelaide. Adelaide has so many dogs in her that people are like, oh, I think she's gained weight. And I'm like, look, she's eating healthy. She's walking, but she has an Akita in her, a Dachshund in her, and Australian cattle dog. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Addie. Addie, come here and show your belly. So it's also our animals. Yes, we've got to get them exercise. I told you I'm not big on exercising dogs in the heat, but we've got to run them around and make sure that they're active. Otherwise, their poor little bodies, they're relying on you, right? They're not going to the store. So what do you feed the animals? So when I thought I would talk about nutrition today, it's not just for you. It's also your kids. It's your spouses, it's your parents. Or are your parents in your home and now you're taking care of them? Well, I would hope that you would take care of them the way they tried to take care of you. Other people may have been raised in a home where, this is that whole thing about the psychology behind losing weight, that they felt like, oh my gosh, my aha moment is that my parents or my grandparents pushed food on me. It's the love of, you want to eat this. Eat this. I made this for you. There was love made in it, right? Does this sound like you? And then you feel bad because you're like, wow, I'm trying to eat healthier. And I can tell that this is all just loaded up with tons of sugars or tons of salt or lots of sauces, breading, etc. You know what? Maybe you just have a little bite of it. They don't know. And then you switch to your healthier aspect, or you don't do it on a regular basis. If you are visiting, I was always told that, it's kind of a slap in the face if you don't try their food. It's just that you don't want tons and tons of it, right? And they should be okay with that. There shouldn't be the pushing of it. Let's see. I make yogurt fruit cups with granola for breakfast. Yeah. So one of my favorite, whether it's for breakfast or I like it as a snack, is Greek yogurt with a little bit of granola. And then I like to put berries galore. So when you talk about sweets, get it from nature's source, from God's source. It's the sweets coming from the sugars, the natural sugars that are in fruit. Keep in mind, though, it is sugars, but it's not the sugars that you're thinking, like the heavy white sugar. That's hopefully, I do not believe that there's sugar even in this house. If there is, it's a leftover bag from making something, but it's a rarity because, again, just trying to get it out. If it's in the house, you're going to eat it. So today, I want to go to the grocery store. We have a big shoot today, and I want to go to the grocery store and just load this back up because when our refrigerator is loaded up with fruits and vegetables and just healthy things, it makes me happy. It's just like, oh, good. There's your energy for the day. And then there's other things you might have in the house. Again, my husband might have some chips. I might have I like blue tortilla chips. If I am making a choice to have a snack in the house or something salty, it's usually something that I have to think, what's healthier? I might look for chia or quinoa chips, blue corn tortilla chips. It's still making the choices of having something that's not the worst product that's out there for you. Do you understand that? The more you get healthier, the more you don't give so much power to every aspect of everything in your house, every food choice. That's when people just have so much that weighs down on them. Angie says, good morning. Progress over perfection this week. It's one of the things that, yes, I'm life coaching Angie. She's one of my 7 clients. Very, very good friend, first and foremost. But I told her, I think you need life coaching because you're struggling with so many things. And one of the things we found with her was she was always trying to be perfect. And that perfectionism will haunt you. Perfectionism in every aspect. And she's like, I wasn't perfect today. And I said, you're never going to be, by the way. You're never going to be perfect because we are imperfect human beings. And once she realized that, bye, sweetie, she's going to get my tires done on my car. Oh, Daddy's leaving. I keep asking myself, how am I going to feel after eating? Whatever it is has helped me to make better choices. Beautiful. Why does that happen, Angie? Because you're being more mindful. It's not mindless eating. It's not overly trying to be perfect. Those little steps, right? So those are tips and tools for all of you. That's helped her in her life, and her she's trained with me over the years. She left for a while. You better not do that anymore. No more leaving, Monica. When she came back, she's like, Monica, I don't know why I left, because when I'm back, I'm in it. But now it's back and really in it for good, right? So once you finally get it, you get that aha moment, then your life just takes off. And then you don't know why you ever lived any other way, because suddenly this is what you always wanted, right? Angie, right. No more perfectionism. Smoothies. Yes, smoothies. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I make. Or shake, a smoothie. Okay. When I was describing what I make in the morning, that's what's getting ready to happen in about 14 minutes. I am going to blend up, and then later, after I eat the shake, I'm going to have one of these. I picked this up at Lifetime where I work out. These are energy bites, little trail mix that's in them. And you look at the carbs and the total fat and the fiber, calories. There's 3 bites. Now, I don't eat 3. I think that's too much. I have maybe 1. So then you can divide it by 3. So you look at so there's 410 calories if I were to eat all 3 of these. There's 11 grams of protein, 43 grams of carbs, 25 grams of fat, and 4 grams of fiber. So I might have 1 or 2 of these as a great little pick-me-up to give me a little energy. I'll have that before we go off to our shoot today. So I've got a lot of protein, a lot of carbs. And when you think about macronutrients and micronutrients, macros, micros, people talk about, got to do a lot of research on that, by the way. Do you have to constantly be counting? No. Maybe in the beginning, just to get you the awareness. But then at some point you get the aha moment of, oh, that's how I'm supposed to be eating. Yes, smoothies, but I want you to control the smoothie. I don't want you to go up to Smoothie King. I want you to make the smoothie at home, Barbara, because the more, and that really goes for everything, the more you control what's going in it, the better off you are. Then you have the aha moment of just how many sugars and sodium and amount of fats and calories are going into something. Does that make sense? Lactaid milk. I use it in overnight oats. Oh, by the way, Terry Toxtine, that overnight oats are phenomenal. That's a great way to keep you on track, by the way. And that's structure. That's organization. That's being prepared. Overnight oats I love. And I also love the mason jars that you just pack up with tons of lettuce and then all the things you want to put in for your salad. And then you just take it all, put it out on a plate. Everything's ready to go. And then you put hopefully homemade dressing. Again, you controlling what's in that dressing, or maybe a balsamic vinegar or a vinaigrette, or you do balsamic vinegar and some good olive oil. Put a ton of seasonings and herbs in it. That way you're already planned up, and maybe you do that for the entire family. I love overnight oats. Lactaid milk I've never tried. If it's working for you, great. I just want you to be paying attention to how your body reacts. And also read the label. My husband won't even go grocery shopping with me anymore. Said it takes too long with me reading all the labels. That's okay. He doesn't need to be there. It's probably more important that you are anyway, because he would maybe want to try to rush you along. And you need to take that time until you really get the products that are the best for you. Then your grocery shopping becomes a little faster, right? We're in the grocery store. I don't go in and out. Jim will go with me, or Jim will go and pick it up. We are actually pretty bare in the refrigerator. That's why I said I need to go this afternoon. But we go together, and I don't really need to read a bunch of labels anymore, because once you find the products that are good for you, then it becomes a lot quicker. So maybe take some time to read the labels, get the aha moments, eat more of the fruits and vegetables, buy the organic products that need to be bought, and leave the ones that you don't need to be spending a ridiculous amount of money when it has that outer shell. Again, I'm talking about any aspect. If you have corn and it's all in the husk, you probably wouldn't need to. Maybe it'll seep in a little bit, but a lot of people think that you have to spend a ridiculous amount of money when it comes to trying to eat healthier. That you don't. You could just buy the sprays to get rid of the pesticides and things that may have been sprayed on the food. You don't necessarily have to buy organic. So that's one way around it, by the way. And those sprays that you buy for fruits and vegetables last a pretty long time. So that's another little tip for you. Lowest in sugar. Okay. You don't eat meat. It's okay. I'll make you lamb. That's funny. Michelle's just a big goofball, isn't she? She's talking about my big fat Greek wedding, right? So there's a guy who says that he doesn't eat meat that's in there. Ian Miller. Have you ever seen my big fat Greek wedding? I hope, because it's absolutely hilarious. And yes, he says, oh, I don't eat meat. And then the aunt says, What you mean you don't eat meat? Oh, I'll make you lamb. It's hilarious. And by the way, I think, isn't there another one coming out? There is. There's another one coming out very, very soon, if it's not out already. I have the yogurt parfait for dessert at night. Substitute for my ice cream obsession. Yes. And by the way, I don't want to give a plug. Leela Sandmel, by the way, are you new to the show? I love all these new names. I love it. Keep telling people about this show, that it's there for them. They can watch live or they can watch it later. I know live's hard for some people. I like to go live for you because I like to interact, but you can always catch this later or bits and pieces later. There is a product out on the market right now. Darn it, I can't think of the name of it. My friend Brittany and Brock, they are using it, and they said it's just a life changer. And it's their way of being able to blend up and make their own types of ice cream. What is it? Darn it. I don't necessarily need to give it a plug, but I guess it's a way to put a different types of protein and stuff in to have healthier options for people who are always craving ice cream. I don't know what it's called. If you really need to know, I will find out for you. But you could probably look into it. And it's healthy ways to make ice cream with protein, something like that. I bet you would bring it up. No doubt, Americans are way overweight. Our food choices is need it fast. Yep, we do not focus on all the processed foods that we eat daily until you do. I don't eat processed foods. Cancer is out of control, and I can guarantee you it's linked to bad eating. We drive everywhere. Convenience is what we exist in. I'm guilty, but now it took me this long to change. But at least you got the aha moment. Think about the people who lived their whole life and they're no longer here anymore because they never got the aha of taking care of themselves, mentally, physically, and spiritually. You are my inspiration along with a lot of my friends. Marilyn, I love it. I love the fact that you came into my life and that you listen to this podcast and that you actually take the tools and the tips and do something with them. That's it. I could come here for you every morning. You just listen and you don't actually implement it into your life. You've got to, I will give you the tools, but you have to take the tools and do something with it. Make that beautiful creation, right? It's all about I don't want to use the ingredients for a cake because I don't want you to make a cake unless you want to make a healthier cake. But I'll give you the ingredients for the recipe. You have to make it taste good, and that's your life. I want you to, if you're a big cooker or you're a big baker, so think about what you do and the preparation you make, right? There's a reason for a sous chef. And then there's the true creation in the chef and the cook. Well, they have an incredible team around them. It's the same thing you need in life. Surround yourself with positivity for the mind and the soul. Surround yourself with the proper food by what you're going to the grocery store and buying for you and your family, for your kids. I'm going to tell you right now, are your kids overweight? I'm going to blame you. You, parents, you, guardians, you, education system. I'm just going to say it. I've said it before and I'm not going to ever take it back. They are not the ones that are at fault. They are not grocery shopping. They weren't raised to eat crap, sugar, breaded food, fast food. You've got to take care of them. I mean, come on. If you're not taking care of yourself, then at least take care of them first and foremost. And then hopefully you'll get the aha moment that you have to take care of you as well. Marilyn said, yes, 100% mindful. It's so true. Can you send me overnight oats recipe? Is that for me or is that for the person who's asking? You really could just Google that. Just Google overnight oats. And also those mason jar salads I love. When I eat healthy, I have less arthritic pain. Aha moments. Yes, Rose. I sleep better. Yes. But Monica, when hubby eats bad, I do. Why? Let him do it. I get depressed. I know I have to worry about myself. Hard to do when he ropes me in. Why do you let him? Only you can control your life. I'm so glad that this came up before we wrap up the show. No one can have control over you, Rose, until you stand up for yourself and say, honey, you can eat this. Look, Jim doesn't eat the best all the time. He's making a lot better choices in the last 10 years he's been with me, but he told me how he used to eat when he was with somebody else. And I was like, thank God you're not eating that way, but you did some of the damage already. And we're trying to rewrite yourself. You know, it's okay. It was done in the past. Hopefully no major damage was done. And now you're eating healthier. So Rose, even if he wants to eat bad, that doesn't mean you have to. You agree with that, I hope. You can make different food for them. And then maybe one day they'll start realizing, oh, maybe I'll try this. Now, again, I might do some meat alternatives like Impossible Burger, which I do have. I like that better than Beyond. And I actually am going to thaw that out because I'd love to have that later today. He doesn't want to because it's just in his mind, oh, it's not meat. But if I didn't tell him and I gave it to him, those taste so incredible that meat eaters would be shocked. I'm telling you right now, you should just try it. Give it to them. Make it like you're making a regular hamburger. It's got such great flavor. But you also hear dietitians say, yeah, don't do this on a regular basis because it's still you're not controlling it. Let me see what this one says. I got that from Melissa Costello, who is the chef for Tony Horton from the old P90X fame. Cooks like ground beef, it says, right? So you can make it a hamburger, you can make it in tacos, whatever you use. But it was the aspect of the ingredients. So this does have soy protein concentrates in it, water, sunflower oil, coconut oil, natural flavors. But there's some other things that are mixed into it. So when I'm hoping to get Melissa on our show, I would ask her, because I remember her saying in a mastermind series that I was in, that she doesn't want people to constantly be eating this. Like maybe you throw it in here and there, but she would prefer, I'm going to thaw this out today. I've got some ground turkey breast in there. Got some corn ready to go. So I'm going to do a little barbecuing, hopefully, if it's not too crazy later today. She would prefer for people to actually make their own veggie burgers, right? So you get your own quinoa and black beans and make your patties on your own. So a lot of people hear that and go, well, of course, but I don't have the time. All right. So that's why you do the alternative, but maybe you can make some time on the weekend. So when you really get a dietitian or a nutrition on, they might taboo some of the things that I even think that are healthier, only because they want you to go the extra step and make all of it yourself, control it, so that you can actually see what's going into it. You realize that, right? But I love the fact that Rose said that you have better sleep, less arthritic pain when you eat healthier. I mean, those are all the aha moments, right? So think about it. If you have pain in the body, or you're not sleeping well, or you're bloating, or you're breaking out, or your skin doesn't look good, your hair doesn't look good, your nails aren't growing, I can guarantee you a lot of times it has to do with what you're putting inside the body. That's why I love that book so much. Look into the book, You, the Owner's Manual, Dr. Mehmet Oz and Dr. Roizen. I can't remember his name. Dr. Roizen, Dr. Oz. That book is, I don't know, what, 20 plus years old, but it was really the aha moment of what you're putting in the body and what your body is doing on the inside. You, the Owner's Manual. It's really good. Look into it. Outside perimeter of the grocery store. Yes, the fruits, the vegetables, what serves you best. I love going to veggie stands and supporting local, and it's cheaper. There you go. Karen, I've missed you as well. I love her so much. Karen Manzelli, you have my heart. Cottage cheese, ice cream. Oh, I've never had cottage cheese ice cream, Dana. Cottage cheese, by the way, is very high in sodium. So it's very hard to find sometimes. But if you are going to eat cottage cheese and you want that as a snack, again, we're still talking about dairy, but I want you to try to find low sodium cottage cheese because it's high in sodium. My dad passed away at the age of 46. His triglycerides were off the charts. 46. Wow, Kathy, I did not know that. Yes, that's the whole thing about watching your intake of salt. You really have to watch it. And if you have high blood pressure in your family, cholesterol, etc., watch that. Sorry, Monica went out to eat, saw the veggie burger on the menu. I got the turkey burger instead. Maybe next time. You can try it, but Stephanie, remember, if it's on the menu at a restaurant, it's also probably higher in salt. And then it's on the bun. So maybe you take it off of that. I always ask for, whenever anybody that's ever gone to eat with me, you always know that I always choose the healthiest bread I can or put it on some lettuce to just get the sodium out. Leona said Impossible burgers are delicious. They are. Just again, watch the salt in them. About 3 months ago or maybe longer, I wound up in the hospital. I couldn't walk and I was laying in the hospital bed thinking I sure don't want to be in a place where I have to be helped with everything, and my weight was almost over 300 pounds. Now 217.9. Way to go, Janet, right? You just get those aha moments of needing to take your life back. That is so awesome. Yes. Marilyn said it's a mindset of our attraction to bad food. Keep it up. Change your mind, change your body, change your life. I love it, everybody. Great choices. Way to go, Janet. Way to go for all of you that have made those changes. Way to go, Marilyn, as well. Way to go, Angie and Ann and anybody that I know that's been making those changes. All right, blueprint for value. So today is expectations. What must happen for you to feel your best? Okay, so fill in the blank. Everybody who's watching right now. Hi, Mark. Good morning to you. What must happen for you to feel blank? Fill in the blank. We all want to feel successful, happy, loved, sure, confident. When we don't feel that way, our personal worth account starts to drop. What conditions need to be met for you to feel those things? When you link your expectations to another person's actions or other factors beyond your control, you give up your accountability and you become the victim. You relinquish power over your feelings to someone or something else. So take back your power. Hold yourself responsible instead of someone else. After your expectations to be dependent solely on things you can control, watch your personal worth account and confidence increase. So your takeaway from today, take control of your feelings, shift your expectations from external to internal factors, things you can control. Take responsibility or you will forever play the victim. And that's from my friend Jeff Kozatek, who I'm hoping to have on our show very soon. Blueprint for Value. All right, right now it's 8 o'clock. So a show should be dropping on wherever you get your audio podcast. Now, if you have Apple, the easiest thing, if it's already on there, right there on my phone in the purple is podcast. Just click on that, and I want you to type in The Real Monica Adams. That little blue picture of mine will pop up, and you've got 4 shows to listen to. So you can go to the content that we've done. We had bullying. We've had Paying It Forward is actually today. There's some great shows that we've done in the past that are on the audio podcast platforms. Again, if you are getting your podcast platforms from iHeartRadio, from Spotify, from Apple iTunes, we started with Limmy Pulliam, a great interview about fat shaming and almost squashing his dreams. That was the first one on June 8th. On the 15th, we had habits, bad and good, and 14 days to form a good habit, hopefully. Social media bullying, but also the positivity of social media. And then right now, what should be dropping very, very shortly is the one on Paying It Forward. So I just refreshed. I don't see it there yet, but look for it. It should be there very soon for you. All right. And then this afternoon, we also drop shows on YouTube. So for all of you that have been watching on Facebook and you have tons of friends and family that can't watch because they are not on Facebook, just tell them to follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get caught up on all the content that we've done. Because if they don't have access to Facebook, they can't go back to March 1st and just start scrolling through my page and looking at the great content. We've done some amazing shows. We've got some amazing shows coming up. Actually, let me give you a little plug here of what is coming up. I was very busy last night setting up shows for the immediate future. So I can tell you that on July 3rd, Renee Howitt with COPE24, she's going to be my guest. She is very impactful. And when you're talking about parenting, or you know someone that is struggling, maybe they become a parent at a very young age and, they're not ready for it. Let's just say it that way. There's a lot of things that happen in the parental side that messes up the children, just plain and simple. Changing our parenting experience. That's COPE24, and Renee Howitt will be my guest on Monday. Tuesday, I'm hoping it'll all be ready to go and edited up. We will have Gilbert talking about how his life changed, all the surgeries he's had, the incredible pain that he's gone through, and how his life changed by the treatments that he got, ketamine treatments from Invita Health and Wellness. Of course, I want you to be careful, be safe for 4th of July, leave the fireworks to the professionals. I don't want you ending up or your kids ending up in the hospital. Doctors, firefighters, and police, I tell you what, it is their busiest day of the year because so many people try to take it upon themselves. We'll do some shows, just you and I, on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And then we're going to talk about the real estate market. You need some help with your home, selling the home, thinking of buying a home, thinking of expanding onto your home. We're going to have the beginning of a segment that I've been wanting to do called Getting Real with the Real Estate Execs. And we've got a guest that will be coming on July 10th. And then on July 11th, a good friend of mine, Angel Magasano, she is the brainchild behind Little Black Book, Women of Business. She's going to empower you and maybe get you involved in that organization. So those are some great shows coming up. And I'm trying to get my friend Sally Drake on. Sally, I was hoping to have on Monday, but she'll just be coming back from Nashville. So she didn't know what time she'd be coming back in, but she's a rock star. You want to talk about an incredible athlete. She will empower you. Great trainer. She's also a wonderful endurance coach. So some really cool things coming up. And then what I want to know is, what topics would you like me to cover? Okay. Reach out to me, drop it in the comments for any time we do our shows, or email me, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Let me go ahead and drop that for you. So if you didn't grab that, you'll see it on your call right now. You can ask me about a topic. You can tell me about a sponsor that you think would like to be a part of this. You can book me to MC an event for you, do a motivational speaking for your corporation, your business, come in and talk to you maybe during a lunch hour, empower and motivate you for you and all of your staff to live their best life. So MC, auctioneer, motivational speaker. If you want to join one of my fitness classes, Terry, by the way, for those of you that were listening to the show yesterday, Terry did reach out to me. We had a great conversation last night, and she's joining my fitness classes on Saturdays and Mondays. So yes, I've got it open to the public until we completely max out. So you're welcome for the inspiration. I'm glad I've helped you become a better version of you. Have a great day as well, Stephanie. Love Angela. Yeah, isn't she great? So she'll be on. Very good topic today. I have learned a lot more because I'm really working hard and still losing weight. Way to go, Janet. Can you talk about why adult children stop interacting or caring for aging parents? Yeah, we can come back to that. Absolutely. So we talked about aging parents. So why they stop interacting. Marilyn, can you reach out to me? There's my email and give me a little more context when I'm preparing for that type of a show, because we can do that for you. Absolutely. We can do that next week on or I can bring a guest on if you'd like. I can bring a guest on as well. Why adult children stop interacting or caring for aging parents. Wow, I would never do that. My mom's everything to me. So give me a little more context behind that. Email it to me, please, instead of putting it into the comments. Yes, I think I've said everything to all of you. I want you to go out. Have an incredible day, Tony. Awesome. Kathy, yes, have a wonderful day. I hope you were inspired. Thank you, Marilyn. I hope you got some incredible tips, and this will be able to start carving away at the person that you are meant to be, the person you've always wanted to become. All right. I'll always be here for you mentally, physically, spiritually, helping to make you the best version of yourself. Tomorrow morning, we'll be live for you in Kirkwood, another version of Mobile Monica. I hope that today's helped out for you. That's all I can say is do everything you can every day to carve out the person that you've wanted to become. Don't forget intentions and gratitude. Do those bookends of the day. All right. Thank you so much for the blessings you've bestowed upon me. Go out and be kind to another human being. Get out of your comfort zone and say hi to someone you don't know. Have a blessed day.